Sugar addiction is not actually real, but I'm going to talk to you guys and gals about specifically what it is and why people actually think that they are. And I want to state up front with that, ignore rodent studies. If we followed rat studies, we would think all sorts of crazy stuff about humans, okay? They're used as preliminary stuff we look at and then try to see if we can extrapolate it to humans because it's considered more ethical to experiment on rats and things happen quicker in them. So again, ignoring some of the stuff with dopamine and refined sugars in rats, when we study this in humans, it actually turns out it's not the case. And I'm going to give you the proof right now, right off up front. Anyone who knows what an addiction is knows that you will consume a substance, right, and will not be able to stop consuming it almost no matter what happens, okay, without some sort of intervention. All right, for sugar, generally sucrose, which is called table sugar, is what's usually used in studies because, again, easy to produce, easy to get. Humans have been making it a couple hundred years now. Again, main refined sugar with high fructose corn syrup being second. So if you were to take table sugar, aka sucrose, which is what was used in those rodent studies that showed the dopamine centers of the brain, and I were to put out a bowl of it, someone says, I'm a sugar addicted. And if I were to put out a bowl of it near you with unlimited access of just dry sugar, straight like imperial pure cane sugar with a spoon, all right, anyone who thinks they're sugar addicted, would you eat the whole bowl? As soon as you started craving something sweet, would you just eat the whole bowl? Okay? If I put it out every day for 30 days, would you do it 30 days in a row without fail? Or would you eventually get sick of it? Okay? See where we're going with this? If someone laughs and says no, it's because you're not actually addicted to the table sugar. What you're addicted to is hyperpalatable foods. Okay? Hyperpalatability requires more than one taste bud. Pure sugar only hits one of those taste buds. We don't get the same dopamine hit in our species, okay? Even if it's a really strong reaction in that one taste bud, the sweet one. Now, some people say, well, I'm addicted to cake or candy or chocolate. Well, but that's not sugar, is it? There's something a lot more going on there. Or let's take those aside. Let's take aside stuff that doesn't have fat and all that in it. Someone says, well, I'm kind of addicted to sodas. Yeah, but there's more things going on with a soda. Sodas are engineered to make you thirsty, aren't they? The way they flavor them, the way they add the extra salt, it makes you thirsty. They also have caffeine. Caffeine is addictive. So now we're taking, the sweet taste with something that has an addictive drug in it, caffeine, and they add extra sodium to it and potassium in ratios that make you thirsty. Do you see where we're going? You still wouldn't drink that soda and then go over and get a taste of that and then eat that whole bowl of sugar. Why? Because we're dealing with multiple factors. We're dealing with a sweet taste. We're dealing with an actual addictive drug. Caffeine is addictive. Something that makes you thirsty. Okay, that's different. But that's still not most of it. Let's come over. It's hyperpalatability. All right. And to understand hyperpalatability, what that means, we have three big main taste buds that are going to be the ones that we crave stuff, that make us taste good, that we want to eat more of. All right, we have sweet, we have savory, which is fat, and we have salty. All right, that's the things that we crave. Now, oftentimes by themselves, if only one of them are hit, it's okay, but we don't go crazy over it. In other words, I'll give you three examples of pure foods that will hit all of them hard. Table sugar. Again, most of you aren't going to eat a bunch of table sugar by itself. Right? How about salt? You going to eat a big whole bowl full of salt? Probably not, even if you really like salty stuff. Fat. You going to drink a whole cup of olive oil? Of course not. All right. Or a whole stick of butter, unsweetened butter, unsalted butter? No. But let's come over. Those are all fatty. But what about foods that we really crave? I'm going to name some big ones. How about cake? Ooh, and I mean any types of cakes. It could be muffins, cupcakes, regular cake, sheet cake. Ice cream. All right, what do those two things have in common? Tons of refined sugar plus large amounts of refined fats. Okay? They're all full of butter and oil. Okay, well, cakes and stuff are pastries. Ice cream full of milk fat. sweetened milk fat that's been churned and made cold into this hyperpalatable concoction. Those are all sweet and fatty at the same time, creates hyperpalatability. People say, oh, but it's still the sugar. No, it's not, because take the sugar out. Let's look at the other two, salty and fatty. Oh, I know in your heads, if you stop and think about that, I'm going to name some foods that people will binge on, they feel addicted to. Pizza. How about French fries? How about potato chips? They're all extremely high in fat and oils, and they're salty. Are we seeing a pattern here? Okay. Notice all these foods are fatty, by the way. Fat is actually the common denominator. It's fat combined with one of the others, either super sweet or super salty. I mean, think about those others. Salted French fries. Man, how easy is it to just eat a whole giant thing of French fries? How easy is it to overeat pizza? To just eat a bunch of it. Potato chips. You can't eat just one. Okay. All right. This is where we're going. It's fat. People are addicted to fat when it is combined with one of the other two hyperpalatable combinations, whether sweet or salty. That is what people are addicted to in terms of hyperpalatability. That's what's hitting your taste buds. It's that combination that's creating that dopamine response. Now you combine that with all calorie-dense foods, and then we have a major fat gain, obesity, health concerns, all this other stuff. Okay? This is where we run into these problems. Because it's hyperpalatable and calorie-dense. Fat's the most calorie-dense thing. Again, we start combining it, though, with the other stuff. You add sugars to it, it gets even more calorie dense. Refined sugars with no fiber? Oh, yeah. But the salty will still give us the overfeeding, and we still can get the calories from the other. Again, gee, how many people on keto diets, they still have a cheese addiction? Salty and fatty. They'll overeat it. Okay, this is what causes. We don't have a sugar addiction. We have a fat combined with hyperpalatability addiction. There's an enormous difference. Absolutely enormous difference. And I would suggest this is what people are experiencing. Because again, nobody's just going to eat. They're not going to mainline table sugar, right? Come on. All right, guys. That's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I'll talk to you guys and gals next time.